This video focuses on Chapter 4, Skills Review, Photoshop 4-27, making a selection using shapes, modifying a marquee, select using color and modify a selection, and adding a vignette effect to a selection. So the first thing it wants us to do is open up PS 4-7 in your chapter data files. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to my downloads. Open up my Chapter 4 data files, PS 4-7. Just say OK. Update any text layers, then save it as powerful felines. Go ahead and do a file, save as. Save it on the desktop. Say OK. Select the backdrop layer, then open PS 4-8. So make sure you have your layers panel readily available. Select the backdrop layer. And now it wants us to open the Photoshop PS 4-8. So go back to your downloads or wherever you saved your data files. Okay, mine is defaulting to preview, so I want to go ahead and just drag it right into the Photoshop icon, and it opens up in a new tab for me. Okay, and I still want it in Photoshop, and I like to work side by side here. So step 3, display the rulers and any available guides in each image window if they are not displayed, and make sure that the Essentials workspace is selected. So I'll go ahead and go up to my workspace first, and I am defaulted to Legacy, so I'm going to hit Essentials, go to this tab, make sure I'm in Essentials, which I am, and want to make sure rulers are visible, so you can do your Command R or Control R, or go to View Rulers, and make sure they're showing for both, so View Rulers. Step 4, use the rectangular marquee tool to select the entire image in PS 4-8. So we are on that. Let's go to the rectangular marquee tool, and it wants us to select the entire image. And then it really wants us to make sure that that feather is at 0, which it is. That's the default feather setting. And then step 5, deselect the selection. So you can do a Control D just to deselect that. Step 6, use the magnetic lasso tool to create a selection surrounding only the block cat in the image. Okay, so the magnetic lasso tool. We know that the lasso tool is up here under the hidden tools. If you click and hold down, you've got a magnetic lasso tool. And you only want the block cat in the image. I'm going to go ahead and start down here. This seems to work with me well. And just work around the cat only. Give it a minute to find that edge. And go around that cat. And you don't have to be perfect. This is just an exercise. You want to make sure that you're understanding what that magnetic lasso tool does, which is really kind of follows along the lines of an object. There you go. It's not perfect, but we did a decent job there. Okay, you can also zoom in and get a little bit more specific and target the areas so you're not missing some of these whiskers or part of the tail like I did. So I do expect that you spend a little more time than this demo. Go ahead there and then step 7, drag the selection into the powerful felines image positioning it so the right side of the cat is at around 490x, and the bottom of the right paw is at 450y. So I'm going to pull this right out of the tab. I'm going to go ahead and hit the move tool and drag it right onto here. And it wants us to make sure that the right side of the cat is at 490, which I've already got a nice guide here. And then at the bottom part of the right paw is at 450, which is just right. Step 8, defringe the block cat, rename this new layer block cat, then save your work. So layer, matting, defringe. Go ahead and just say okay. Softens it up around the edges just slightly. Save this layer as block cat. Block cat. And then close the PS48 TIFF without saving any changes. And that would be close the little kitty here without saving any of those changes, but keep Powerful Felines open. Okay. Open PS49 TIFF. So we'll go ahead and we'll open that up under Downloads. Chapter 4, Data Files. PS49. Open it up. Change the settings for the Magic Wand tool to the tolerance. Okay, we'll do this. Double click. Tolerance 5. And make sure that the contiguous checkbox is selected. And it is. Step 3, use the Elliptical Marquee tool to create a marquee. Okay, elliptical marquee, you want to click on the rectangular marquee, hold it down, and you'll find it under the hidden tools. You want to create an elliptical marquee from about 100x to 50y. Okay, I'm going to reset my rulers just so we know where we're at here. Okay. Using a setting of 0 in the feather text box. Okay, so you want to make sure that that is actually around the 100x to 50y mark. Okay, and then you'll create a marquee. It's going to have you deselect it. And then number 6 says use the quick selection tool to select the tabby cat. Quick selection tool is right here, and then you want to select the tabby cat. And the way you do that is just by running around here. Make sure we've got tabby cat covered. He looks good. Drag the selection into the Powerful Felines image, positioning it so the upper left corner of the selection is near 0x, 0y. Okay, so again, I'm going to do that same thing that I did with the other robotic looking feline. Drag and drop, position him right up near the top. And then defringe the new layer using a width of 2 pixels. So we'll go ahead, layer, matting, defringe, change that to 2 pixels, say okay. So it softens him up just a little bit. Rename the layer Tabby Cat, then save your work. Tabby Cat. Okay, and then we'll save Powerful Felines document, and then we're probably going to want to close that 4-9, which is step 10. Okay, select using color and modify a selection. Now we're going to open Photoshop document 4-10. Say OK. Use the color range dialog box to select only the kitten. Okay, so we'll go up to select color range, and then you want to make sure that you have the selection inverted and say OK. Okay, and now we've selected just the kitten. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to drag the selection onto the Powerful Felines, go to your Move tool, drag it right on there, and position it to about 230 to 450 Y. Okay, and ours is flipped compared to the one. You can go ahead, we skip step 4, flip the kitten image. You want to flip that image, adjust, edit, transform, flip horizontal. There we go. And you can go ahead and clean it up however you want. I see a couple dots on there that look a little strange. I'd probably defringe this cat as well to about 3 pixels, which it says on step 6. So layer, matting, defringe to 3 pixels. Makes it a little softer anyway. Rename the layer Kitten. Kitty. And then save your work. Go ahead and save the work. Close PS410, which is that other little kitty. We're completed. And then lastly, add a vignette effect to the selection. Go ahead and use a 15 pixel feather setting in the backdrop layer to create an elliptical selection surrounding the contents of the Powerful Felines image. Okay, so make sure up here when you go to your elliptical marquee that it says feather 15 pixels. And then you'll go ahead and you will, using your elliptical marquee, create an ellipses. Okay, and then you're going to stay on this layer backdrop and make sure that you create a layer mask. Add a layer mask there, and you have completed that part. Okay, step 3, hide the rulers and guides and then save your work. So View or Controller Command R. And then you also want to hide your guides, okay? And then compare your work to figure 31. And it looks just like it's supposed to. And go ahead and save your work and upload this to this week's submission link. See you in the next video.